Baseball is a game in which two teams of 9 players alternate the roles of batter and defender, trying to score points by hitting the ball with a bat. It is played on a rectangular field with a goal and goalposts on each side. The batter tries to hit the ball with the bat while the defense team tries to catch the ball or stop the batter. Points are scored when the batter completes the run paths. Baseball is one of the most popular sports in the United States and is played in many parts of the world. Basic rules. The batter tries to hit the ball with the bat. The defense team tries to catch the ball or stop the batter. The batter scores points by completing the running paths. After 9 innings, the team with the most points wins the game. Some important aspects of baseball. It is a game that requires strategy, skill, and athleticism. It can be fast-paced and exciting. Basketball is a sport in which two teams of 5 players each compete to put the ball in the basket. It is played on a rectangular court with a hoop on each side. Players can pass, dribble, and shoot by controlling the ball with their hands. It is important to follow the rules such as fouls and offside. Basketball is one of the most popular sports in the world and is watched and played by millions of people. Basic rules. You can only control the ball with your hands. You cannot foul or block opponents. You must jump to put the ball in the basket. The ball must go through the hoop. There is no offside. Some important aspects of basketball. It is a fast-paced and exciting sport. It requires teamwork and coordination. Individual skill and athleticism are important. It is played all over the world and is a popular sport. Cricket is a game with complex rules in which two teams try to keep a ball hit with bats in the wicket and score points. The game is played on a rectangular field with a wicket on each side. One team hits with sticks while the other tries to score points by throwing the ball and defending the goal. Points are scored by moving balls hit with bats across the field as runs. Cricket is a very popular sport, especially in Commonwealth countries and South Asia. Basic rules. Players can score runs by hitting the ball with bats. Points are scored if the ball hits the wicket or goes into the wicket from the air. If the opposing team catches the ball, the batsman is out. Both teams have a set number of innings. The team with the most points wins the game. Some important aspects of cricket. It is a complex game that requires strategy and skill. It can be played in long matches, several days. It is one of the most popular sports in the world. Soccer is a sport in which two teams of 11 players each try to put the ball in the goal. The game is played on a rectangular field with a goal in the center of the field and a goalkeeper in each goal. Players can control the ball with their feet, knees, and head. They aim for the opponent's goal by passing, dribbling, or shooting. Referees ensure that the rules of the game are followed and penalize violations, such as fouls and offside. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world and is watched and played by millions of people. Here are some basic rules of soccer. Players cannot hold the ball with their hands or control it with their arms. Players cannot foul or block their opponents. The ball must cross the goal line exactly. A team cannot score if they are offside. Soccer is an exciting, fast-paced, and strategic sport. It requires teamwork, skill, and athleticism. Golf is a sport where you use clubs to try to hit a ball into certain holes with the fewest strokes. The game is played on a 9 or 18-hole course, with each hole having its own unique challenges and obstacles. Your goal is to complete each hole in the fewest strokes possible to achieve the lowest score. Golf can be played individually or in teams and can be enjoyed by people of all ages. Basic rules. You try to get the ball into the holes by hitting it with clubs. Each hole has its own challenges and obstacles. Completing the hole with the fewest strokes scores points. The player with the lowest score wins the game. Some important aspects of golf. It is a game that requires strategy, skill, and concentration. It is one of the most popular sports in the world. It can be played by people of all ages and offers challenges for all levels. Hockey is a sport in which two teams use sticks and a ball to score points by putting the ball into the opponent's goal. The game is played on a rectangular field with a goal on each side. Players advance the ball by hitting or dragging it with a stick. Each team has 11 players, and the game consists of 3 halves. Hockey is a popular sport in many parts of the world and has different variations. Basic rules. The ball can be advanced by hitting it with a stick or by dragging it. The opposing team tries to stop the ball or foul the opponent. Putting the ball into the opponent's goal scores points. Both teams have 11 players. The game consists of 3 periods. Some important aspects of hockey: it is a game that requires strategy, skill, and athleticism. It can be fast-paced and exciting. Rugby is a sport in which two teams try to score points by using an oval ball to carry it into the opposition's field or throw it into the goalposts. The game is played on a rectangular field with a goal zone on each side. Players advance the ball by carrying, passing, or kicking it. Each team has 15 players, and the game consists of a series of short games. Rugby originated in England and is a popular sport in many parts of the world. Basic rules. The ball can be moved forward by carrying, passing, or kicking. The opposing team tries to stop the ball. Moving the ball into the opponent's end of the field or kicking it into the goalpost scores points. Both teams have 15 players. The game consists of a series of short plays. Some important aspects of rugby: it is a complex game that requires strategy, skill, and athleticism. Physical contact is very common and can lead to injuries. Tennis is a sport in which rackets are used to score points by hitting a ball over a net into an opponent's court. It can be played as a single player or in teams of two. It is played on a rectangular court with a net and a goal on each side. Players try to return the ball to the opponent's court by hitting it with their rackets. If the ball goes out of bounds or under the net, it is considered a fault. Each player or team has the right to serve a certain number of times. Tennis is a popular sport all over the world and can be played by people of all ages. Basic rules. The ball must be hit with the racket and returned to the opponent's court. It is an error if the ball goes out of bounds or under the net. Each player or team has the right to serve a certain number of times. The player or team that first reaches 40 points and then wins the match by 2 points wins the game. It is a fast-paced and exciting sport. It requires skill, coordination, and athleticism. Volleyball is a sport in which two teams try to score points by throwing the ball over a net into the opponent's court. It is played in teams of 6 players each on a rectangular court. The ball is hit with the hands or arms to try to return it to the opponent's court. The ball must pass to the opposite side without touching the ground or being fouled. Each team has the right to serve a certain number of times. Basic rules. The ball must be returned to the opponent's court by hitting it with the hands or arms. The ball must pass to the opposite side without touching the ground or being fouled. Each team has the right to serve a certain number of times. The team that wins the match first by 25 points and then by 2 points wins the game. Some important aspects of volleyball: it is a fast-paced and exciting sport. It requires teamwork and coordination. It is one of the most popular sports in the world.